the Los Angeles Lakers his entire 20-year NBA career, winning 5 NBA championships, an MVP award in 2008. Bryant is also an 18-time All-Star. His record also includes 2 Olympic gold medals and an Academy Award. Bryant has visited the Philippines several times. His last trip to Manila was in 2016, the same year he retired from pro basketball. Bryant has 3 other daughters with his wife, Vanessa. CNN's Andy Scholes got to speak to Kobe just 11 days ago. They talked about the possibility of women playing in the NBA. Kobe also shared his thoughts on football icons like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo.
You were one of the early investors into Body Armor. It's grown so much over the years. How cool is it now to be a partner with Major League Soccer?
You know, it's crazy, man, because like when we first started the company, it was such a small company. We had this vision of doing these big things and servicing the athletes and educating them on nutrition and hydration. And to find ourselves here now in partnership with MLS, and MLS is, I mean, they've taken off too. I mean, this is coming up on 25 years now. And the game has done nothing but grow. And so to have this relationship together is, we look forward to doing some big things.
I know you're a big Barcelona fan. How do you think they're going to fare? And where do you think Messi ranks in terms of best athletes in the world right now?
I think he's one of the best athletes of all time. His tenacity, the intelligence with which he plays, as well as the skill. Just puts him head and shoulders above the rest. Now Cristiano is right there with him. But I think Barcelona right now, going through their transition period, changing manager, there's a lot of questions to be answered, but I think they'll figure it out.
So the NBA fans love to debate which team from which era was better. Shaq recently weighed in saying that he absolutely thinks you and him would have beaten this current Lakers team with LeBron and Anthony Davis. What's your take on that hypothetical matchup?
I don't weigh in on hypotheticals. Because as a competitor, there's nothing you can do about them. You can't debate yourself to winning something, right? That was the beauty about sports, is you compete, you either win or you lose. In the debate culture, there's never a clear winner,
right.
But it's fun to hear.
You recently said your daughter TG got you back into watching a lot of NBA. You've taken her a bunch of games this year, sitting courtside with her. As you watch games with her and coach her through her basketball journey, I wanted to get your take on if you think a woman could ever play in the NBA one day.
Play in the NBA, I think there are a couple of players that can play in the NBA right now, honestly. There's a lot of players that have a lot of skill that can do it. Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Ella Deladon. I mean, there's a lot of great players out there, so they could most certainly keep up with them.
The entire NBA devastated upon learning the news of Kobe Bryant's sudden death. 6-time NBA champion Scottie Pippen was just as stunned as the rest of us. He says, and I quote, "Words can't even come close to describing it. Just an incredibly sad and tragic day." 3-time NBA champion and Miami Heat legend, also a teammate of Kobe in the U.S. teams, Dwayne Wade was in disbelief over the news of Kobe's death. Joel Embiid was emotional on Twitter. He says he started playing basketball after watching Kobe in the 2010 NBA Finals. He adds watching that finals was the turning point of his life, saying he wanted to be like Kobe. Rising star Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks thanked the Laker legend on social media. He says, quote, "All the lessons, all the advice, every word you ever told me will stick with me forever." And Utah Jazz star Donovan Mitchell calls on the NBA to, quote, "Please retire number 24 league-wide." We still have here PBA champions and the Governor's Cup from Barangay Ginebra, Eli Tenorio and Joe Devance. Let's go. And that you both had the chance to meet Kobe Bryant. He's been here several times. We lost count because ang dami ng events. There were so many times that he came here. Particularly that All-Star game, the PBA All-Stars against Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul. I remember that at the Big Dome. How was it like, LA? Nung una mo nakita si Kobe?
Wow, it was really parang as a basketball player, it's like a
Surreal?
yeah, it's like a Disneyland for you. It's like you're in the happiest place on earth that time. Plus playing against them, changing sweat with Kobe and a lot of NBA players. It was really fun. That was one of my I think the as a basketball player, dream come true for me.
You were still with Alaska then, I
I was still
remember.
with Alaska,
Yeah, you were still with...
so
Was there a time na nagbantayan kayo ni Kobe during the game? Were you
no,
matches?
because everyone wants to guard Kobe. So
Talaga? Like, nagkaroon ba ng time among you and your peers sa PBA?
everyone
Ako bantay kay Kobe? May ganun ba?
everyone wants to Don, Arwin was there, even Mark was there. So lahat talaga gusto bantayan si Kobe. So, and then that time he was really very accommodating the fans because he really loves Philippines. So every time he's here, I think nandun ako sa event niya.
Every event, you were there.
Every event. Kasi well, basically Nike was, was organizing all the events of Kobe. But every event, if not I'm watching, I was there with him in the court. So I was looking all my pictures. Hindi ko makahanap yung iba mga pictures ko with him. But you know, I had a lot of opportunity na makasama si Kobe, and it's really like you're like with Michael Jordan. For me, that's with Michael Jordan already kasi hindi na naman natin makasama. It's really different pag nakikita mo siya, the way he talks. You know, the way he talks, it's like parang you can see the competitiveness in him. Na parang may
swag,
may gigil eh.
Gigil,
Even though na may sinasabi siya na parang inspirational talks.
Yeah.
It's like, he's really different.
How about you, Joe? The time that you met Kobe, how was it like?
It was around the same time. It was actually the same.
2011 at the Big Dome, the same event.
We were teammates, I think, in Alaska.
Yeah, we was teammates, and I had tickets to the game, and I was right there front row, kind of sitting on the scores table and everything. So it was cool, for them to, walk by and they shake my hand. Yeah, so it was cool for me to share that arena with them. It was my mindset back then though. It was just one of those. I was still young, so I was like, in my head, I'm like, man, I might be able to take these guys. I don't want to take a picture with them. You know what I mean? Like that's what my mindset was back then. So I didn't even want to take a picture, with them. And looking back on it now, I wish I had did that just to to have some memories. So, but I mean, again, that's just one of those things where you think you might have the opportunity to do something, and then it's all taken away from you. So.
It's just, again, in case you just tuned in, breaking news, Kobe Bryant has died at the age of 41 at a helicopter accident along with his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna. And I got to speak to NBA beat writer Josh Planos all the way from Nebraska in the U.S. He talks about the era of Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA and the legacy the Black Mamba is living behind.
Just so happened that I moved around the time that the Kobe and Shaq tandem came together. It was obviously probably the best time to move to Los Angeles. They played a brand of basketball that will live forever, and that was one of the most special teams in the history of the game. Today isn't a day for rankings, but Kobe Bryant is undoubtedly one of the greatest athletes of all time, and that's why everybody is so shocked. What's so jarring for me today is I thought Kobe Bryant would live forever. He played basketball fearlessly. This is a guy who rolled up or attempted to roll down his Achilles tendon so he could stay in a basketball game. He has the work ethic that nobody else had, and it's such a shame that things had to end the way they did.
What do you say is the impact of a Kobe Bryant in basketball in general?
I mean, so I live in Nebraska now, which is more than 100 miles from a professional sports team, and maybe 5 minutes after the news broke, that Kobe had died, I looked outside and there was an 8-year-old boy shooting hoops in a Kobe Bryant jersey. And, there's snow on the ground here. Kobe Bryant clearly predates, this child's life, and yet his lasting impact is something that truly will live on forever. And it's just really tough to encapsulate such an incredible life. And, there was so much more that he had to offer, and unfortunately all we're left now with are memories. But those are memories that I'll hold on to, deeply, especially in the coming days.
Yeah, I was reading your tweets, Josh. It's just, unfortunate really, because a night after LeBron James surpassed Kobe Bryant, the third all-time scoring list in the NBA. Kobe Bryant was bigger than basketball. His mentality, the Mamba mentality, just inspired and is still inspiring a lot of basketball fans, a lot of people to not give up. He is just one of the most passionate, the most hardworking players, one of the greatest players in this generation. He spent with the Lakers 20 years. What do you think? A lot of players mourning now the impact he left in basketball. A sure Hall of Famer. What do you think? Will Kobe leave his legacy in the NBA, his legacy around the world? He is a global ambassador of the sport.
There's no doubt. I mean, what's incredible is he was, one of our first global superstars, right? I mean, he's born in Italy. He came over. He's obviously been to the Philippines a number of times. He helped grow the game in immeasurable ways. And it's just really tough to imagine the NBA and basketball in general without Kobe Bryant because of how instrumental he was in everything he did, whether it was the way he played. He always loved the big moment. Every kid in Los Angeles growing up would count down the seconds to zero in their front yard and take the shot. They were always thinking, I'm Kobe Bryant right now. And maybe they don't make their high school basketball team, but, for that moment, they really feel like they're connected to him. And so that connection, that, legacy is something that will not end, even though Kobe Bryant is no longer with us. It's just really tough to put into words the impact that this man made on so many, children's lives, and even, to this day, a generation that didn't even get to watch him understand Kobe Bryant because of how impressive he was when he was playing.
Of course, a 5-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, 18-time All-Star. One of your favorite moments, of course, there can be a lot. When he scored 81 against Toronto, his last game against Utah, 60 points. But you, Josh, personally, what was your favorite Kobe Bryant moment in the NBA?
I would probably say 2006. He hit a game winner over the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. And it was the first time I ever used profane language in front of my parents, just because, I reflexively did it. And I thankfully my parents didn't, ground me at the time. But he just kind of evoked, these emotional responses out of people. And that was an incredible shot, and it's something I'll remember forever. I'm sure, my parents remember it, maybe not so fondly. But that was like every game for him, even down to the final game that he played, when he went berserk against the Utah Jazz in a game that, frankly didn't matter, as far as, the Lakers weren't going to go to the playoffs. That's something that people will remember forever. And I really think that in times like this, we have to rely on those memories that we have. And I'm certainly going to be doing that in the coming days because I can't imagine my life without Kobe Bryant.
If you just joined us, our breaking news, the whole world in mourning. Basketball superstar Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, killed in a helicopter crash earlier today. Keep it here on Sports Desk, only on CNN Philippines for more on this story.
Playing in the NBA, I think there are a couple players that can play in the NBA right now, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of players that have a lot of skill that can do it. Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore. I mean, there's a lot of great players out there, Ella Deladon, so they can most certainly keep up with them.
Yeah, I definitely got the feeling listening to Kobe give me that answer that, his daughter Gigi was on the path to maybe being the first woman ever to play in the NBA one day. And guys, it's still a little surreal that, it hasn't really hit home for me yet because I was sitting across from him just 11 days ago.
Yeah, of course you are.
It's a family tragedy, right? That poor family, that poor little girl. Constance Andy Scholes, thanks so much. Bob's going to stay with us. We have a lot more news tonight.
We do. We're going to continue to follow this tragic breaking news, the shocking death of 41-year-old Kobe Bryant. We will look at the tributes that are pouring in around the world, across the country, on and off the basketball court next.
This morning, breaking news on CNN Philippines. Tragedy in the world of sports as Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna are killed in a helicopter crash. Sports Desk will be back with more on this story. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines.